What was the big incident at your high school?
Well, we had a teacher that thought it was a good idea to sell weed to students. We also had a teacher that was like sexting with a student. And then there was this time where all the lesbians, like there was like a group of 4 lesbians and they were like a good friend group. They all got into this massive fight at Four Corners and like there was literally a pool of blood on the carpet in Four Corners. Then there was this time, I don't remember what class it was, but they were doing some sort of experiment. And the smell was horrible that it stunk up the whole first floor. And everybody thought it was a gas leak. The fire department came and it took most of the day. And it took most of the whole day to confirm that it was not a gas leak, that it was a freaking science experiment.
Okay, freshman year, a group of freshman boys told an autistic kid to jump off the banister in our school.
I remember that.
Yep, he broke a whole bunch of bones. Sophomore year, we had a bomb threat, and they wouldn't let us leave this campus though, so we all just stood outside the school while like SWAT teams and people showed up to our school. What else has happened? We got a kid he got thrown onto a moving vehicle in the parking lot during a fight. Yeah.
Teacher got beat up.
Oh, we had a teacher get beat up, and then we had 3 convicted pedophiles in a 30-day period.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
I low-key feel like this was racism, but like I have to say it because this was wild. So let's just put this out there. There was this Muslim black guy who was very clearly Muslim, you could tell by his name, who said that he was going to bring fireworks to the festival that's going to be happening the next day at school. Okay, and it's an outdoor festival. We have it at the end of every year. So I'm guessing someone overheard him say that to someone else and they told the principal. So the next day comes around. It's the time of the festival. And we have to do it indoors because there is literally 10 cop cars investigating a bomb threat, which was the guy who said he was bringing fireworks. Mind you, he wasn't even at school that day. So they went to his house. I heard they raided his house. They were looking for him. And yeah, it was just, we never saw him again after that day.
So I went to a high school called Centennial High School in Bakersfield, California. And someone was getting bullied, so they decided to come in some cupcakes and pass them out to the bullies. And the bullies ate them, and it was fucking crazy. Like, dead ass. They came in some cupcakes, and we called it cum cakes, and it was funny as fuck.
One of my buddies got arrested for bank robbery. Yeah, it was in college, not high school, but I think it still counts. He was a guy on my dorm floor, and we'd always play Grand Theft Auto together, and apparently he was taking notes. After our freshman year, he was like super good with computers, so he just left the school. He said that he was going to go work for Google, which we all believed because he was super tech savvy. But he didn't. No, he went and robbed banks. He actually became known as the Harry Potter Bandit because he would rob banks in cosplay. So if you're a cosplay TikToker and it's not working out for you, don't worry, there are other career options.
So there were a couple of screwed up things that happened, but by far the biggest and worst of these was when these 2 classmates of mine, Rachel Schoaf and Sheila Eddy, decided, for reasons that are still unknown to everybody to this day, to literally murder their friend, Skylar Neese. And they almost got away with doing this. They paraded around with Skylar's parents for months, putting up missing flyers, talking about her like that she'd run away. And I remember I was in English class with Rachel, and one day this kid asked her, "Hey, they say you guys aren't telling the police everything." And she goes, "Oh no, we're not." And at the time I was like, oh, she ran away, Skylar ran away, they just don't want to rat. And now I'm like,
I'll go second. Here at Drumheller in Alberta, we were on our New Year's and Christmas break, and we all got kind of a notification. There has been an accident, and we all look on Facebook and social medias. Oh, picture of somebody drove through our school into the side of the building with their truck, and then they pulled out and drove down the street and parked it after probably a party. So if you need proof, I have proof. Yeah, just DM me. So back with the reply for the part 2 of the video, what you guys have all been asking for. Gotta give it to you. So here's the hole, and there's the vehicle, and it's just destroyed. Don't know what guy was thinking, but full send, eh?
My turn. So if we went to high school together, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm pretty sure it was my senior year, which was like 5 years ago. I had this like little group of friends that we all had the same classes together, so we just kind of, acquainted ourselves. And we always used to talk about like who we were talking to, who we were dating and stuff. And one of the girls in the group always used to say, "Oh my God, guys, I can't tell you because he's so much older than me and I just can't tell you guys who it is." Sus. Anyway, so we all had like health science together, and every day in class, she would get called out of class by our assistant principal like 30 minutes before class ended. And the rest of our friend group always thought it was odd, and we had our suspicions and stuff. But later on that week, it became a huge thing. All over the news, she was sleeping in with our assistant principal, a 17-year-old and a 40-year-old.
Trigger warning: topics of sexual assault are discussed. Apparently there was this boy at my school who couldn't keep his hands to himself. There was little rumors going around he had this habit of getting handsy with the girls. These rumors were dismissed at first until this boy allegedly was left in the room with a girl who was in a leg cast and wasn't fully mobile, and he was said to have assaulted her. The school, of course, attempted to dismiss these claims until other students began to rally and demand action or take it themselves. Action was later taken because later that month the boy's father, who was a pastor I believe, was on the news being charged with sexual assault for molesting his daughter and other girls. Like father, like son, I suppose. I think he eventually transferred from all the pressure that was on him.
Try this one on for size. At my high school, there was cameras covering every inch of the building except the stairways. Why not the stairways? I don't know, but that's the way it was set up. So one day, someone decided that they were going to take advantage of this and exploit the whole system. So you might ask, well, how are they going to do it? There's only one way that's really fitting to take advantage of a system like that where the stairways don't have cameras on them, right? Right, of course. So this mastermind came up with the idea that he or she was going to poop on every stairwell in the building. It was a pretty big school, 10 stairways, and this person realized that there was also 10 days in 2 school weeks. So the suspect, who eventually became affectionately known as the serial shitter, decided that each day for 2 weeks of school, they were going to poop on a different stairway. Best part of the story is they were never caught. The serial shitter is still at large.
I'd say our biggest incident is when someone tweeted or phoned in a bomb threat, and so all 2,000 people on the campus went into lockdown. Every law enforcement personnel in the area, in the county, relocated to our campus. In the meanwhile, several banks got robbed while we were on lockdown. It's a pretty smart scheme if you think about it.
Anyone who went to Kelston Girls between 2002 and 2006, I'm sure you would agree that the event that happened was when those 4 guys ran through our school from the front gate down to the back field, butt naked, right past Mrs. Ulu, who was giving them the old sneaky wandering eye. Is it not? Is it not?
I have been waiting for this one. This was my high school. They all gave us MacBooks to take home after school. Like, we could use it at school and then like bring it back home to do homework, whatever. And they had this like spyware installed into like the MacBook cameras. And they like had a bunch of screenshots from this kid, the grade above me. He was like of sleeping, like changing, like all this creepy stuff. And so one day he was like eating Mike and Ike's, like the candy, and the principal and like the superintendent, like all the staff thought that he was like popping pills and like doing drugs. So they called his parents and told them that he was selling drugs when it was really just candy. And so he ended up suing them for $600,000. And like I think bought like a car with it as like a subtle flex. I have many other scandals though. Many, many scandals.